asked me how I actually learned to play guitar. And the truth is, I learned quite late. I learned at the age of 19. I didn't learn music at school. I never played guitar when I was younger. My dad tried to teach me many times, and it caused many arguments because he would give me chord charts, and within 20 minutes I'd get bored and I'd get back to playing my PlayStation. However, at the right age of 19, after my girlfriend, who was a musician, broke up with me, I decided I was going to learn to play guitar, and she was going to rue the day that she broke up with me. That never happened. But that was my reason, alright? But it stuck with me, and I get really committed to playing it. I started learning my favourite songs. I learned Bruce Springsteen, The River. That was my first song. And then I learned pretty much every Eagles song that there is. And that was great. I was able to play my open chords. I was able to strum. And I was quite happy with it. But eventually, I hit that wall. And I got that realisation that I didn't really know how to play guitar. I only knew how to copy stuff that I learned from YouTube. And I yearned to be able to understand the guitar, to be able to go up and down the neck and play all the cool stuff that you see in my lessons every week. To be able to play triads and scales and sound expressive and cool. And the only reason I got there was by getting myself a teacher. And I just happened to find, for me, the best teacher on the planet. Guitar wizard, my Jedi master, Andy McLaughlin. Now, Andy's a very good friend of mine now. He teaches in my academy in Guitar Made Easy. And all the students that have worked with Andy now know exactly how good he is, not just as a player, but as a teacher. Every time you work with Andy, you'll get an aha moment. Amazing at teaching lead guitar and teaching about triads and how to play melodically. So today you've got a real treat. I'm going to introduce you to Andy, and if you want to take part in his workshop he has next week, if you want to take your guitar playing to the next level, then make sure you check that out. Alright guys, but enjoy the Jedi Master, Andy McLaughlin.
This is Andy McLaughlin. Back in 2012 I started a music school, and like everybody else we taught learn stuff now, play music later. And the whole process of making music is mysterious, none more so than for a beginner. However, intermediate players and even advanced players who can play lots of technical stuff, they might be able to play all of their favourite songs, and yet they still struggle with the concept of making music, of being creative, of being expressive. And so eventually I changed my music school's ethos, philosophy and name to Play Music Now. And that has been my sort of guiding light as far as a player and a teacher for all these years now. And in this course that I'm presenting on Saturday, May 17th at 5 p.m. GMT, Phrasing Unlimited, we will look at ways where you can indeed generate unlimited possibilities from even the smallest fragment of music, or even just a scale. Just a couple of notes will do. And in this video we're going to just look at some of the techniques that I utilised to do so. But before we do that, I want to make it clear that the point of playing guitar is making music. And if you find yourself doing lots of scales and exercises, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's called practice. Now, an analogy we could use here is this sort of model of the right brain and the left brain. So practice is a left brain activity. It's a list of things, a step-by-step procedure, an A to Z. We've got somewhere where we are and we've got somewhere where we want to be, and we're working towards that. We might be measuring it. How many BPMs could I play that lick? How many patterns of that scale have I learned thus far? How many chords do I intend to learn over the next month? What are my goals? These are all left brain type activities. Practice. Playing is more of a right brain activity. It's a non-linear. It's a way of connecting all of these things in some form of expressive and fun way. Now think about what the word play usually infers. So are you playing with the things that you're learning, or are you just collecting them? So here's some ideas that you can apply straight away, and these will be some of the techniques that are in the toolbox that you'll get when you sign up for Phrasing Unlimited on Saturday, May 17th at 5 p.m. GMT. And there's a link in the description to join this program. And so recycling is our first technique that we will employ. Now what that means is we can take any simple idea and we can make multiple variations of that. In fact, we can make infinite variations of it. Here's a basic blues lick that you might already know. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to recycle it. I'm going to change something about it, and then it's going to generate a new possibility. Can you guess what I did? I just moved the bent note. I bent the B string. Then I changed it for the high E string. Now, I don't only get to change notes, I can also put spaces in between notes. Now, I've put spaces in between notes and I've changed one of the notes. What if I combine all of those possibilities and I just sort of play for a few seconds and just going back and forth between change a note, leave a space. A little bit of variation in the speed of the bend, never hurt anybody. You know, and just to give you a little indication, this is just a taste. Any of these notes could be changed. Instead of starting here, maybe I start here. Or I start on this note. There's an infinite amount of permutations that you could make. That's called recycling in the Phrasing Unlimited course. And the next technique is called multiplying. It's taking one thing, okay, 4 notes, and using any scale pattern that you know. And you can also do this if you don't know scale patterns, so don't worry about that. But today I'll just plug it in to the minor pentatonic scale. I'm sure you all know position 1, that's where the previous lick originated to. Now I just play that at all the different possibilities on the scale on different string sets. Or along the fretboard. Okay. One of the other techniques that we can use in the multiplying part of the program is the use of octaves. If you can play anything, octaves are an instant multiplier. Okay. Then we will be talking about musical grammar. Now that is the idea that music, being a language, has some kind of syntax to it, that if you can understand that, you can use it in your practice to generate new ideas without having to just think of play something that sounds good or play more notes. If your thinking is play more notes or play something that sounds good, then you don't really have much to go on. But if you have a concrete system or method or formula to create something, then you have a good starting point, and I guarantee you, you'll generate some amazing results very quickly. My most popular format that I use with students is called theme, variation, theme, ending. You play a theme, it could be anything. You do a variation, you do the theme. Another one might be theme, contrast, theme, ending. So, we'll be looking at these techniques in much more depth and many others in the Phrasing Unlimited course on Saturday, May 17th, 5 p.m. GMT. And remember, the point of making music is making music.